Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
And I'm Office Bloke Max.
Here we are, all three of us together.
Hi.
Every unwritten rule in life explained in 11 minutes.
Right, okay.
Unwritten rule. I'm just looking at some of the rules there.
Yeah,
Nothing stands out on there for me as an unwritten rule.
Don't hate them. Spot the quiet one,
Don't
probably, yeah.
Pain.
Spot the quiet one. That's psycho, isn't it? It's psycho thing, that, isn't it? Yeah, should we get into it?
Let's get into it.
Rules. Right, okay.
Go for it.
Venting rule. You're sitting across from them at the coffee shop, half-finished
That is loud. Okay,
Loud, isn't it?
Let's get that down. There you go.
Venting rule. You're sitting across from them at the coffee shop, half-finished latte between you. Their spoon's been stirring the same spot for 10 minutes. They're not really looking at you, more like through you. And then they say it. I think I'm burning out. It's quiet, no tears, no drama. But you know it took 100 emotional drafts to get to that one sentence. You nod. You want to help. So you do what your brain is wired to do. Solve. Have you tried waking up earlier? That helped me a ton. You say it gently, helpfully, like you're passing them a life jacket. But their face flattens. Their eyes retreat. And the silence that follows is heavier than the one before. Here's what just happened. You thought they needed a rescue plan, but what they actually needed was someone to sit in the water with them for a minute. This is the venting rule. If someone's opening up, it doesn't mean they're asking you to fix it. It means they're asking, can you hear this without trying to mute it? Can you sit here while I unload what I've been carrying for too long? Not everything broken wants to be repaired. Some things just want to be witnessed. The better move, do you want advice or do you just want to talk? 9 words. But it shifts the dynamic completely. Now they get to choose. Now you're actually helping by giving them the wheel instead of rerouting the map. Now, sometimes support looks like strategy. Sometimes it just looks like shutting up and being present. This doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough to ask how they want to be cared for. Middle seat rule. You walk into the lecture hall 7.
I kind of agree with that.
I really agree with that, yeah. That's quite nice.
It's kind of, a lot of people don't want to don't want you to solve the problem. They just want to tell you what the problem is.
Just want one burden and tell you it and just...
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the worst one for it though. Never ask me for fucking advice. Never. I just don't give a shit.
Yeah, fair enough. It's fair.
I'll try, but
It's
I'm
like
just, I'm like,
It's like people say it's good to talk, and that's part of it.
Yeah.
That one, isn't it?
It's a massive
just
part
to
of
be
it,
able to, you know, then someone listening to it and just empathising, not necessarily, well, this is what you got to do.
Yeah.
But just
I tell
then,
my
you know.
doctor loads of shit that they don't want to hear, just to sort of like see how they react, just mess with them a little bit. I make stuff up sometimes. And just sort of like say like, you never guess what, and tell them shit, and they just look at me as if to say like, what's going on here? I did not expect this. You only come in for medicine, mate.
how you still alive?
And I still sort of like give them, torment them a little bit. Yeah. Sort of like, so they go home and they're thinking, obviously the confidentiality, they can't tell anyone, can they? Sort of thing, but it messes with their head, I'm thinking. So I just want to, you know. Batteries might.
10 minutes early. There's that faint pre-class hum. Zippers, whispered catch-ups, the shuffle of bags hitting the floor. The room is mostly empty. Perfect. You spot the sweet spot, middle row, dead center, best acoustics, perfect view, just far enough from the front to avoid eye contact, just close enough to see the slides. You take a step toward it, but then you pause. There's an unspoken pause that only some people feel, the pause that says, if you sit there, you make everyone else climb over you, and you're not here to gatekeep geometry. So you pivot, slide into the aisle seat, second from the end. Not your ideal angle, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
You place your bag at your feet. You've just followed one of life's invisible interface rules. This is the social version of UI design. You're not just choosing where you want to sit, you're leaving pathways for others. It's not a written rule, but people who don't follow it, they stand out, and not in a good way. You've seen it. Someone stretches out dead center while the rest of the row is empty, and every person after them has to awkwardly shimmy past, muttering, sorry, while they move their knees 15% to the side and pretend that helps.
Absolutely.
So why is this a big deal? Because it shows you get it. You understand spatial awareness, a social sixth sense most people don't talk about, but everyone subconsciously respects. You're not just a student in a chair, you're a node in a network, and how you position yourself sends a signal. Respect, consideration, quiet, and...
Right, this applies to not just that.
Are
Applies to loads of things.
Are you going to say...
I went to the supermarket before to buy my lunch, and there's a fucking girl stood there
Oh,
with a trolley, right, a cart, just like right across, just staring into space. And I'm just
I was
like,
literally about to say
so I
the
grabbed the
same
trolley and just shoved it like, and she went, and I went, move. I didn't say excuse me, I just went, move. I'm like, social awareness and spatial awareness. What are you doing?
Yeah, the worst one for me is when you're walking down the street and someone just stands and just turns at some point, and you just go, I'm trying to get somewhere, get out my way.
Passport control a couple of weeks ago coming home.
Oh, God.
Woman walking, she drops the tissue, she fucking just stops and just went, boom, need her out of the arse. Went bang like that, and she went, excuse me. I went, excuse you, yeah. It's not my problem, you're in my way.
I was in the supermarket literally yesterday. This is in the car park, this though. So I parked in a space there. Then there's two next to me, and the one on that third one was the end one. So there was nothing there. This car came up, parked right next to me. It could just park in the end.
Bet it was an old woman.
No, it was a middle-aged bloke with his wife. And I thought, well, why didn't you just go in the end one?
I'd have asked.
You know, it's just,
I was gone for real.
it was absolutely incredible.
Lads,
honestly.
are we miserable?
I know,
it really
yeah.
sounds it, doesn't it?
I can understand me. I'm not aged, right? Like a grumpy old man. You know?
Yeah,
I'll get
I
that,
can't
but-
complain.
Some
yeah.
people need to be told.
Yeah,
and a lot of
100%.
people don't say anything. There was a guy the other day. I'm at the line in the supermarket buying a sandwich, and a guy just walks up straight to the front and went, "Oi!" And no one said anything. And he went, "What?" I went, "It's a fucking queue, mate." To the back, and he went, "I'm a driver. I'm allowed to come to the front." I went, "You're not.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what you do."
that
To the
got to do
back.
with it?
We were at services,
Right.
and I went to the back. I went, "Don't serve him." And she comes, she went, "He's a pain in the arse." I mean, you know what it was? Our driver. Not letting him get away with it. No chance.
Intelligence. No one will thank you for it. No one's handing out gold stars for aisle decisions. But someone will slide into that center seat later, bag in one hand, coffee in the other, relieved they don't have to whisper, "Excuse me," 8 times just to sit down. And they won't know why the day feels smoother. But you will. Don't one-up pain. You're sitting on the floor of your friend's apartment, legs crossed, a mug of lukewarm tea in your hands. The lights are dim. Not moody, just tired. There's a long pause in the conversation, and you don't rush to fill it. Then they exhale. I've been having a rough time with anxiety lately. The words sit between you both, fragile and unfinished. And your brain starts racing. You remember your own panic attacks. 2019, the insomnia, the chest tightness, the spiral. You feel the urge to say something, to relate, to show them you get it. You open your mouth. "Yeah, I had it bad a few years ago." And then you stop, mid-sentence, because something in their face flickers, like the window they cracked open is already closing. This is where the unwritten rule lives. When someone gives you a soft truth, don't step on it to hand them your own. It's not about winning. It's not a comparison game. It's not the Trauma Olympics. They didn't tell you to hear your
what
story.
I always say.
They
Not
told
top
you
trumps.
because they needed
Yeah.
space for theirs. In that moment, you rewind. Start again. "I'm really glad you told me. That sounds exhausting. Want to talk about it or just sit with it?" And something shifts. They lean back just a little, like they trust the room again, like you didn't just hear their words. You made room for them. Here's the concept. Empathy isn't matching stories. It's matching emotional tone. If someone hands you a whisper, don't respond with a monologue. If someone gives you vulnerability, don't repay it with a spotlight. Just hold the space. That's it. Laugh or lose. You're
fair play.
halfway across the street when it happens. A slight rise in the pavement, the toe of your shoe catches it perfectly. And for one glorious, mortifying second, you're airborne. You don't fall. Not really.
You gotta laugh.
It's more of a flail step shuffle, like your body briefly forgot how walking works. And now you're standing again. But a small group near the cafe just saw the whole thing. One of them lets out that half laugh people do when they're not sure if it's okay to laugh. And in that split second, your brain flashes 2 options. Option A, pretend it didn't happen. Stare straight ahead. Keep walking like your kneecaps aren't screaming. Option B, turn back, grin, and say, "And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I never pursued ballet." You pick option B. The laughter shifts. It's with you now, not at you. This is the cheat code no one teaches you. If you make the joke, no one else can weaponize it. That flubbed word, that voice crack, that misstep. When you beat others to the punchline, you don't just diffuse tension. You reclaim control. Because laughing at yourself doesn't make you small. It makes you safe. You become the person people relax around. The one who's too confident to pretend perfection. The one who reminds everyone else that we're all just trying to stay upright on uneven pavement. It's not weakness. It's a social recovery system. A soft shield of self-awareness that makes your reputation resilient. People don't remember the stumble. They remember the delivery. Don't hate them. You're gripping the steering wheel just a little tighter than usual. The sun is...
I'm in full agreement with that. If
very
I trip,
British.
if I trip and I'm in like a populated place, I do that. You know when like gymnastics land and they go like that.
Yeah.
I do that.
I've done that. I remember being in school and falling over in an assembly hall and just go up and to go, and that's it, and then you got to move on because everyone it just diffuses everything.
Yeah.
You have to own it,
Yeah.
or you make it so much
If you
worse.
get angry about it and start, you lost
It's
it.
bad luck. If you
Yeah.
laugh at yourself, then
Yeah,
you've
you've
got
got to,
a
haven't
great
you? You've got
diffuse
to.
and people go along with it. And
If you can't laugh at yourself, then don't take the piss out of other people.
Exactly,
That's my side. So when I take the piss out of other people, so if people want to take the piss out of me, I'm like, go for
things
it.
like tripping up, we've all done it. We've all seen people do it, and it is funny. As long as they don't hurt themselves, of course. But you know,
Yeah,
you
sometimes
just
when they hurt
gotta go with
themselves,
the
it's
flow.
quite funny as well.
Yeah,
You know?
that's just really British of us, isn't it? It's
yeah,
like, stop being on it. What if he fell over?
Right, yeah.
It's too bright, the radio is too loud, and the traffic isn't moving. It's that kind of day. The kind where every minute feels like it's personally attacking you. You inch forward half a car length, savoring the small victory. And then you see them. The car, 2 lanes over, blinker flashing, nose edging out like a guilty kid sneaking out of detention. They want in. You feel it immediately, that spike of irritation. You did everything right. You merged early. You waited. You played by the rules. And here they are, trying to skip the queue.
Yeah.
Your foot hovers over the gas. You could close the gap, you could teach them a lesson, you could win this tiny, meaningless battle. Instead, you breathe out through your nose, ease off the pedal, let them in. It's not because you're weak, it's not because you're a pushover, it's because somewhere deep in your social programming you know, this is the unspoken rule. We all have to take turns, even when it feels unfair, even when the system glitches, even when someone jumps ahead and smiles that sheepish, self-forgiving smile. You're not letting them win. You're letting the whole messy, fragile, impatient system keep running another day. Traffic isn't about fairness. It's about trusting that small acts of civility keep the whole simulation from collapsing. One less horn blaring, one less middle finger flying, one less adrenaline spike you'll regret later. You're not giving up. You're choosing peace over pettiness. And when you zoom out, you realize that's not weakness. That's civil engineering on a human level. One tiny mercy at a time. Spot the quiet one. You're at a party you almost didn't come to. The room hums with low conversation, the smell of cheap wine, the clink of glasses. You're wedged into a half circle of people swapping stories about bad bosses and worst Tinder dates. You laugh at the right times, nod when you're supposed to, you're in. Then, out of the corner of your eye, you see them, standing by the snack table, plastic cup in hand, smiling politely at nothing. And you feel it, that subtle, sharp pang. They're playing single-player mode in a multiplayer lobby. You could ignore it. You could stay tucked in your warm little orbit. But something in you glitches, a small, stubborn impulse to rewrite the scene. So you shift, nothing dramatic, just enough. You angle your shoulder outward, open the circle by one person's width. Someone else cracks a joke. You laugh, then glance toward the person by the table, as if inviting them into the ripple of the moment. And just like that, they step forward. No fanfare. No, hey everyone, this is Sam. They looked super lonely. You don't spotlight them. You make space for them to arrive at their own speed. This is one of the unwritten rules that never makes it into etiquette books. Inclusion isn't about announcing belonging. It's about quietly designing it. A slight shift in your body language. A stray smile tossed like a rope. A question simple enough to answer without fear. Hey, how do you know everyone here? What's the best snack so far? Small doors, unlocked, silently. You don't rescue anyone. You just make it less lonely than it had to be. And later, they won't remember exactly what you said, but they'll remember how it felt, like being seen without being exposed. Kind versus
Nice.
kinder. You're
I
sitting
love
on
that.
the
I really
floor
like
of your
that.
bedroom,
Yeah.
staring at a half-eaten sandwich. You didn't mean to spiral today. Didn't mean for the simple plan. Get up, get dressed, act normal, to glitch out somewhere between
Act
socks and
normal.
breakfast. Your phone buzzes. You don't want to look. You already know what it says. Hey, let me know if you need anything. You blink at it. Thumb hovers over the keyboard. What would you even ask for? You can barely figure out what you need yourself. It's like someone threw you a life raft, but left you tied up on the deck. You don't answer, not because you don't care, but because even answering feels like work. Later, another message comes. Different friend. Want to talk this weekend? No pressure? I'm grabbing groceries. Can I drop anything off at your door? Found that playlist you loved? Want me to send it again? You just stare at the screen for a minute, breathing a little slower than before. Because there it is. An open door you don't have to knock on. No choosing, no explaining, just yes or no. No shame attached either way. And suddenly you realize help isn't just about offering, it's about reducing the friction. Let me know if you need anything is kindness. It's caring. It's sincere. But here's what I can do is activation. It's the difference between saying good luck out there and here, take this torch. You're going to need it. When someone's in crisis, decision-making feels like hacking a locked system with wet gloves. Even simple tasks splinter into impossible choices. The best help is help that doesn't require a roadmap to accept. You answer the second friend. Simple. Yes, please. 2 words. But inside, it feels like winning a boss battle you thought you'd have to solo. Terrible timing. You're sitting across from your friend at a little table outside a coffee shop. Empty mugs, half-finished muffins, the kind of lazy, golden hour conversation that's already starting to dissolve into goodbye. They glance at their phone, smile a little apologetically. I should head out in a minute. You nod. You both know this moment. The winding down, the soft closing credits. And then it happens. A thought that's been buzzing at the back of your mind all afternoon finally demands a voice. Hey, wait, did you ever forgive your dad for that thing? Your friend's smile freezes, just slightly. Their hand hovers over their bag. Now they have to choose. Stay longer than they meant to, spiraling into a topic they weren't ready to reopen. Or leave, feeling like they just slammed a door on something huge. Neither option feels good for either of you. Here's the thing you didn't realize in that moment. Timing matters almost as much as intention. You weren't wrong to care, you weren't wrong to wonder, but there's an unwritten rule in real-life dialogue. Don't start new chapters when the credits are already rolling. When someone signals they're about to leave, their brain starts to...
I use this in the bar.
Oh yeah.
When I go to City, they come in when the head guy comes in, then I know it's time to leave, right? And I know the guy, Mick. I've known him for years. He's been at City for years.
Yeah.
And he comes in, he goes, "That's, start drinking up." And I would go, "Hey Mick," and I say to him, "Tell Aiden about the time." Gives me at least 15 more minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more pint. Nice one. Yeah.
All this trick in the book.
Oh, absolutely.
To close the session, they're packing up, not just physically, but emotionally. Their energy dips into wrap-up mode, focusing on next steps, transitions, logistics. If you drop a heavy question then, it hits harder. It demands energy they've already mentally logged out of. It feels like opening a complicated software program after you've already shut down the computer. And most of the time, they won't even realize why it feels bad. They'll just remember the discomfort, the heaviness. The better move? Plant the seed earlier. Start deep when the room is open, not when the door's closing, when you have space to follow the emotion, when you can actually sit with the answer instead of rushing past it. You pack up your bag, walk home with the slight sting of regret buzzing in your chest. Next time, you promise yourself, save the big questions for chapter 1, not the epilogue. Because emotional timing isn't about censorship, it's about care. Knowing when someone has enough room to actually meet you there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very good. Yeah.
Really nice.
I think he's right in what he's saying there for a lot of the points.
Yeah, definitely well explained.
The ones where you've got like the emotional sort of thing. Like I say, I'm the wrong person to speak to about. I'm just very unaware.
Yeah.
What to say.
Yeah.
So it's like if someone says to me, "Oh, something's happened," I'll just go, "Oh," and I'm like, "Now what?" Then I'm like,
I'm sorry.
sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Right, okay then.
And what do you want to do now? Then It's
Yeah.
like it's the next phase, and you can say you're sorry, or you're sorry to you're really sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, for what you're hearing, you're
Yeah.
probably not. Most people are probably like, some people, some people's close sort of thing.
Yeah.
But most people, you just be like,
Yeah.
right, now what?
Yeah. Where'd you go now?
It's your problem, not mine.
Yeah.
It's don't bring your problems with me.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like just go, sorry about that,
Yeah.
and then that's it. Leave it at that. What else can you say?
So yeah, I think I'm more the sort of person to ask about that and not help, but like if they need to talk, it's more because I'm used to doing
Got
that with
a lot of
friends.
empathy.
Depends what it is.
Yeah.
It depends what it is as well, though, doesn't it? Really, if you can
Yeah, of course.
empathise, if you've been through certain things before, and it's can be a tough one, can't it?
Yeah.
But, I don't know, the empathy thing, like you're saying, let people just unburden. But sometimes they want to know if someone's been through the same thing, and if you have, it sometimes can help.
Share
You
together.
say, well,
experience.
I've been through a similar thing, and this is how I dealt with it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I think sort of talking about yourself in the same situation can be a help sometimes as well. But
With the right intention. Yeah, definitely.
absolutely, yeah. But some really good points in there.
Yeah, I've been shit agony on. Serious. The shit psychotherapist type thing. Like, what's wrong with you?
Brighten up.
I think I'm a good listener, but I don't know what to do about it. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
No, I don't mind people talking and stuff like that. I quite like that. I'd rather people talk to me than me talk to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's what to do with it and how to sort of like
Tough one, isn't it?
move on and that. But
Some good ones there though. Enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one.
Cheers.